Okay, he wants me to share it. This is Sandman 1 saying I should share this. Nesara Jasara. It says it's from a different, it's not from Google, it's from ADL. I don't know what ADL is. It says Nesara/Dasara refers to a conspiracy theory promoted by Shania Goodwin. Don't shoot the messenger, guys. Also known as the Dove of Oneness, that all debts will be wiped out in a radical reset of the U.S. economy. It is a reference to the National Economic Security and Recovery Act, a set of U.S. economic reforms proposed in the 90s, which included abolishing compound interest on loans, replacing income tax with a national sales tax, and returning U.S. currency to the gold standard. While the proposals were never actually introduced before Congress, conspiracy theorists like Goodwin claim that they were secretly passed by Congress and then suppressed by George W. Bush in the wake of the 9/11 attacks.
Nesara, global reset explained. Could all of the debt in the world really be forgiven in a giant global reset? I'm a former investment professional who used to advise portfolio managers at Merrill Lynch and Morgan Stanley. And today I'm going to explain how a theory that proposes to do just that would work in practice. The theory is called Nesara, or the National Economic Security and Recovery Act, and it really had two stages of its formation into what it is today. First, there was an original version proposed in the 1990s by a private citizen, Harvey Francis Barnard. The proposal was essentially a set of radical economic reforms that included replacing the income tax with a national sales tax, getting rid of compound interest on secured loans, and returning to the gold standard. He said that would result in 0% inflation, higher living standards, and a more stable economy. For close to a decade, he tried to get his proposal in front of Congress, but he didn't work for the government, and not many people took him seriously. So in the year 2000, he decided to use this new, powerful tool to get the word out, the internet. That's where we get into the second phase of how it morphed into what it is today. Once it hit the internet, people like Shania Goodwin, aka the Dove of Oneness, who was part of a cult called the Ramtha School of Enlightenment, claimed that it was secretly passed by Congress and then suppressed by the government. By the way, Congress is the government, so how anyone believed that is beyond me. But I digress. They also claimed that it was a proposal to forgive all debt rather than just changing the way interest is calculated. And some people also made up a global version called Jasara that would forgive all global debt rather than just in the US. There are all kinds of offshoots of this, like that all currencies would then trade one for one and so forth and so on. A lot of these have been the basis for investment scams, including one that the Dove of Oneness was a part of, called Omega Trust. So while the idea that it was secretly passed by Congress is a complete conspiracy theory and has no merit, we can still look at the real and fake proposals from an economic and investment perspective to see what their impact would be. So let's start with Barnard's original proposals to replace the income tax.
First step is pay off your debt with this. God is going to help you pay off your debts. You better pay off your debts. That's the number one thing you need to do. Okay? You won't need it. Do you understand? I believe in miracles too, but it's not from a government program. Do you understand? The world's ways are not God's kingdom ways. Do we have to establish that again? There's nothing wrong with miracles. God canceled some of my debts, but that's because of the favor of God. It wasn't that. It's weird. They wrote it off, never did the typical process. And then I start hearing about Nesara. I'm like, OMG. Seriously, I had no idea, but then I believed it. And and I started connecting it with everything I was learning from the awakening, the new. You need to be on my Miracle Manifestation Zoom on Wednesday, and I'll discuss this in detail. Because thank you, God, for putting a guard over my mouth. Always. Hold on. I need to make a note of this. Oh gosh. Hold on. Thank you for that article. I know a lot of people are not willing to hear that, don't want to hear that. They would rather hear hopium. And I understand. But guys, you believe in Nesara? Yes, it's a law. I've seen the law. I agree that it's a law. Don't have money and have not invested in the Iraqi dinar. Jasara is happening. You just heard that. Nesara also will happen eventually. So what are you worried? I'm going to back out of that. Yep, I can't say anything.